Please bear with us.
Hey,
But
everybody.
hi. Let's
Put a thumbs up in the chat if the audio sounds good, guys. Okay, they sang better.
Yes, please let us know. Yeah, let us know. There we go. Ooh, 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 ooh. Camera dancing. She's excited. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we are very excited to hear about you, your journey. But first, we want to hear about you right now. So, like, how are you? We want to do like a little mental check-in. Hear about
that is so nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm going through it. No, I'm just playing. I'm actually.
That's okay if you are.
I'm actually in really great spirits. I feel like just because New York Fashion Week's coming around, so like honestly, it's like I always say it's my favorite holiday. So like I'm just always excited. Like so, I'm really happy. Like I'm counting down the days for real.
I like that. I love that. I love that. Do you have any projects coming up? Any shows? Any shoots? Any music? I know you're an artist.
Yes, I have a lot coming. Y'all are not ready. I call myself KP the Legend for a reason. I'm trying to do legendary things. I have 10 shows so far. I did take a hold on photo shoots because during Fashion Week, I like to lock in. So like for the month of August, I haven't taken really any bookings because I'm just like focused on castings and, actually walking. So like I kind of give myself mental breaks because I tried that last year and it stresses you out when you're doing everything in time for Fashion Week. And then by the time you get there, you're like, I want it to end. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
that's true. That's good that you're taking breaks, you're pacing yourself. I love that. So you can give yourself like the best outcome possible. Like when it comes to your music, when it comes to your shoots, and when it comes to the shows too. Like you gotta feel like you gotta fulfill yourself first.
for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we had a couple questions that we wanted to ask, and we just want to kind of get your mind and see what you think about New York Fashion Week, see what your experiences have been. And I'm like, what qualities or what did you do to prepare yourself for New York Fashion Week? Like, what did you do to make yourself stand out as a model? All of that. How did you present yourself?
I feel like the key word is preparation, and everyone's preparation is different. But I feel like there's like key elements is like obviously practicing, making sure your comp cards and digitals are up to date, going to as many castings as possible, and networking. Like I don't think people understand the value of networking before Fashion Week and during Fashion Week because those are the lasting connections that will get you into these shows and will get you into the projects after Fashion Week. But for me, like also mental reset is very important for me just because during Fashion Week, we're all going to go through it. Like that's a given. Like I always tell people, so the chaos is like going to always happen. So you're going to be stressed out during Fashion Week. So mentally prepare yourself for the chaos. And a lot of people, they just like run into it and then they're in the back crying. So I'm like, girls, boys, like we actually have to sit back and like actually I tell people write down your schedules. Like that's also something very important. A lot of people don't write down things. If you write down things, it actually helps you visualize your scheduling. But there's like a lot of key elements, but I always tell people practice your walks. Practice them in 2-inch heels, practice them in 4-inch heels, practice them in sneakers, practice them barefoot. Because I was also left-handed before, I think it was like 2 seasons ago. I'm always used to wearing heels. And then the lady was like, no heels. I'm like, wait, what? And it was more of an African, it was like an African tribal theme. So it was just more so like, she didn't want any heels. She wanted to be more natural. And I'm so used to just walking with heels on and threw me for a loop. So I was like, all right, next season, we're going to practice in all types of shoes and even barefoot. Because, like, you never know.
Absolutely. Stay ready, young guy. Get ready. True.
Period.
True. I love that. I love that. So, like, in staying ready and stuff like that, what's something that you wish you knew before your first fashion weeks? Also, by the way, how many New York fashion weeks have you done? Oh, yes.
My origin story is so crazy. I'm going to be very honest.
Tell us. Tell us. We want to know.
I didn't start Runway until actually COVID. I'm talking about, like, literally in the midst of COVID. Because you know how, like, everything shut down? Yeah. And there was, like, one designer, and he was still going to have a show, but it was going to be indoors. And he had, like, 5 models. Like, and he was going to do a virtual show. And obviously, I was like, all right, it's COVID. What am I going to do with my life? I want to be a model. Everything's shut down. So I applied, and I got a call back. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, you know, when you get that first email from a runway show and it's your first time ever, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. At that point, I didn't know what a comp card was. This was like 6 years ago. So I'm like, what do I do? They're asking for a comp card, they're asking for these things. I didn't know what to do. But I still showed up because I was like, I have to show up regardless. I showed up. And then I found out that it was an accidental email. So like the designer like accidentally sent a mass email to like I guess like the people who made it to the second round, but like not the people who actually made it. So I'm there like excited. And he was like, he like asked for my name. I'm like, Caitlin, and he was like, you're not on my list. I'm like, well, I have an email, and he was like, oh, unfortunately, that was a communication. We're so sorry. And then the actual designer like came outside in the hallway, and he saw me, and he was like, no, she can stay. And I was like,
I
okay.
like that.
I was like,
As
thank
they
you, God.
should. Right.
And then like to fast forward, I ended up doing the show. It was amazing. And then after that, like everything just started like happening for me. Like like I don't know how to really remember, but I just know my origin story. Like, and then everything after that just like started happening. So shout out to that designer who like looked at me and was like, you know what, stay here, get your butt in some clothes, and let's walk. And I was like, thank you, God.
They saw the vision for you.
Yeah, and I'm very close to God, so I also feel like it was God's timing. God was now preparing me for something, so I feel like God was like, you know, you can do it now. I got you. So yeah.
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. So before that one, I guess, what did you do to prepare yourself? Like, what is something that you wish you knew before going into that show that you were like, oh my God, like I didn't know. I know this kind of, you're saying it's kind of like a mistake, but like, what
Yeah.
did you?
Com cards and also a model bag. Like, because
Yes.
it was my first show, I'm thinking like everything was just gonna be there for me. Like, but no, like you have to bring black heels, nude heels, pasties, bra, underwear, even sometimes makeup that is your shade. Like I realized, oh, like they might have everything for you, but they don't have everything for you. You see what I'm saying? And like a model bag is literally important for both men and women. So it's not just a woman thing, because men also need it for grooming. They need their shoes as well. Sometimes they need even black trousers, a wife beater. Like these are things that now I'm like, it's a must to have.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And I mean,
That's true.
that's what we
That's
wanted
so
to hear.
true.
We want to, show these people that there are steps to this, there are levels to this, and we have suffered a lot of these like pitfalls, and if people can just like glide over them, like they should be able to. Like I feel like if we had to take a few hits and we learn from them, we should be able to express them
Yeah.
and let people know, like, okay, like do it this way, so you won't, fall on your face like I did.
Yeah, and I feel like in this present time, I'm not saying when I started was like I started 9 years ago, but was more active, more towards the second year of modeling, and now I'm a full time model. God is so good. But people models are allowed to make mistakes. I feel like more recently we now have so many communities where we're very informative. Like we have all these group chats now. We have lives like this now where it's like I wish that we had this. I feel like I'm saying this like I'm old, but I wish we had this like 5 years ago because I feel like I had to do a lot of research on my own, which is fine because that's also important. But like now I feel like it's easier access to learning these things. So that's why I tell models, I'm like, girl, you should have known that already. Because like I feel like that's like certain things that you should really know. Like a com card now is like it's like your ID as a model. Like if you don't have that, what's really going on? But I always tell like new beginner models like don't put too much pressure on yourself because like we're all learning. Like I started from somewhere. Like there was a lost KP at one point. So like never be hard on yourself, but definitely listen. I feel like models need to listen and actually take notes because this is like an industry where you have to invest in yourself, learn from yourself, and there's a lot of rejection, there's a lot of acceptance. And listen, I know like now we're in an era of like being accepting and all that, but like I always try to bring it back to the 90s where it was very cutthroat. So I feel like that's like the humiliation that I like to keep sometimes is like sometimes I make it, sometimes I don't. And I think that's what keeps me motivated because like when I don't make something, I already know like I'm gonna bust my chops to make sure I get the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, in that saying, like, what did you do to navigate some of those hard days, those long days backstage, maybe, like, or the rejections, or the long casting lines, all of the not so glamorous parts of New York Fashion Week? What do you do to navigate those days?
I feel like I would say my friendships, like the model community that I have, like we're so tight knit. I feel like if one of us go through it, there's the next girl that's going through it. I never feel like alone in that element. And one thing about me, I'm boisterous on the internet, so like I'll be like, I'm in a mood right now, like I'm going through it, and like someone be like, I'm going through it too, and then we have like a talk where it's like, all right, you're not the only one, Caitlin, calm down, you'll get over it. But I also know, like I said, Fashion Week, you're gonna go through all the emotions. Like it just happens, so that's why I mentally prepare myself. And thank God for my friends that also like keep me humble and remind me, like, Caitlin, it's okay. You're not gonna go through this by yourself. Like we're literally here for you, and they literally are for me. So like I'm never like alone, essentially.
Yeah, that is so true. And to that note, actually, you were one of the first people that I met during Fashion Week last year, and that was my first New York Fashion Week. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is so sweet and so nice. And you have this like mental prepare. You have to prepare yourself for like rude models or rude designers or.
Right.
But with you, it was just like, oh, she is so sweet. I love that.
Oh,
Like,
thank you.
and has been supporting since day one. And it's just like, get in here, you're gonna get it. Get in here, you're gonna get it. So, yeah, we need more people like you and all of that. All of that. The industry needs more people like
And
you.
just because you said that, I'm gonna say this because when they do post it, support other models, America. Like that should just be like a plaster. I know we're all like in competition because this is a competition essentially, but like I feel like I've elevated in my career because I'm a good person at heart. Like you meet the right people by being a good person. Like if you're like this snobby girl, like unless you're Naomi Campbell, okay, you don't get a pass to be snobby, okay? But other than that, like I always feel like making these lasting relationships, like listen, we literally met a year ago and now I'm on your podcast. Like you never know how the world works.
Yes,
So that's why I'm
ma'am.
like, be nice to people, be genuine, and like let's all win together. Period.
Yes, absolutely. So, can you tell us about a moment where it wasn't so, I want to use the word kumbaya backstage with other models? How did you navigate that? How do you navigate, not so friendly models or not so friendly designers backstage?
Ciao.
Cool.
I'm gonna be politically correct because I'm a generally nice person, but there's a Caitlyn that just shuts down. And I feel like for me that's like the most healthiest. It's just like sometimes when I'm going through a lot, I literally put on my earbuds, my beats, and I literally go into a corner and reset. Music is my best friend. Sometimes I literally need moments to just be quiet. I am an emotional creature. I'm a Scorpio. So there's some times where I'm like, when too much is happening, I have to go to a corner and like reset. But as models, you need to find your safe place. That's very important because there's going to be times where these people are really rude and you're like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? So
Yeah.
it's not what you did. It's just sometimes they're upset because of what's happening. Sometimes it's not even your fault. Like sometimes the production is upset, therefore now the designer is upset. Therefore the designer may have an attitude towards just everything. So I try not to take things too personal and just finding a safe place for myself.
Yeah, that's true. That's really good. That's really good. And I will say, like, to that too, if you ever notice that your friend or a model backstage is feeling sad or somebody is getting treated wrong, please stand up for each other backstage.
Speak up.
Like, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up for your friends. Like, we need to protect each other.
You would want somebody to do it for you,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
if you're in a favor, you should,
Yeah.
because we're all, I know you mentioned that this was like a race. I would like to say that it's more like a marathon, like everybody's going at their own pace. We all don't make it to the finish line, whenever that may be, and whatever that
Right.
looks like for anybody else.
Yeah.
And I love seeing. I don't know if y'all be seeing it, but like when there are marathons and there's people that just like toting like another person, like they just bring them like, come on, you can make it, you can make it. Like I love that energy, like just come on, like we can do it together, like we can do it stronger. Like it don't matter when we make it, like we gonna make it.
I'll make it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said marathon. I'm actually gonna jack that now, just because at one point I felt like I was very hard on myself about timing. Like I felt like I was doing all the right things, and I'm like, why hasn't it happened for me? And that was something that was like consistently on my mind. And now I'm at a point where I can tell models that you honestly don't know when it's gonna happen. As long as you keep staying consistent, you're putting in the work, it'll literally happen at a moment. And I've been doing this for 8 years, and I now am finally seeing like the fruits of my labor. And I'm so happy it's finally now. I'm like, God, thank you. Because, sometimes time is not of the essence. But I always tell models, like, just keep doing what you're doing, be a good person, keep motivating other people, keep being consistent, keep practicing, because I'm telling you it's going to happen. It's going to happen literally when you don't expect it.
Absolutely.
Very, very true. Very true. So you mentioned earlier, you mentioned networking and, growing your network, meeting friends, meeting designers during Fashion Week. How do you maintain those relationships? Because I know sometimes, like someone like you, I'm sure you know hundreds of designers and hundreds of models and have thousands of people who are supporting you. How do you maintain those relationships and stay authentic to your friends?
It's like it's pros and cons because the more people you know, the more you want to stay on top of it, but you're only one person, especially if you do not have a team. But my thing is just because we have social media, is supporting. I feel like liking and commenting and sometimes even checking up on them is very important. For me, I meet a lot of these designers in person, but I only meet them during that New York Fashion Week, and then we go our separate ways. So my thing is like social media is the thing that keeps us in contact. Or if I do have your number personally, we'll touch base here and there. But I always tell people like, grow your brand on social media because it's very important. Unfortunately, we are in the era where everything is technical. So you have to be on it with social media. I know some people are like, oh, I don't like social media. I'm like, girl, boy, you kind of have to be on it because that's what's going to keep your brand maintained and keep those relationships connected. So social media is very important. And if you do have their number, definitely reach out. And liking and commenting, I tell people like it's very important because you can like someone's post, comment on their post and be like, oh shoot, I need a model. Let me go through my likes. Let me go through my comments. Like that's really happened so many times. Like I remembered you commented on my post, so I actually want to reach out. So I just tell people just engaging. Engagement is very important, whether that be in person or online.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. And I know like you basically you engage with a lot of models and a lot of people online, and you say like you do a lot of work. So of course a lot of your stuff does pop up very often on my feed at least, and I'm sure for some other people. So that's really lovely to hear. Did you have any questions for her or anything like that?
I do have a few questions for you, Miss KP the Legend.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to know, how does New York Fashion Week make you feel? Like it doesn't have to be like sunshine and rainbows. It doesn't have to be down in the dumps. Like, but you can just be real and raw. Like, how does it make you feel? Being there in that moment, being amused, being malleable.
It makes me feel seen, to be very honest, just because for us models, that's our Super Bowl. That's where we come to life. That's where everything is like comes to a forefront. And it wasn't until last year where I had to remind myself to make sure that after Fashion Week, I keep that momentum going, because there was a point like after Fashion Week, after all the glitz and glamour, you're back home like, oh, another week.
Yeah.
Like, so that's where it settled for me, where I'm like, New York Fashion Week is obviously the highlight of my life, but I have to make sure if I want this to be a continuous thing to keep that momentum going. So I tell models that do not just wait till New York Fashion Week to give it your all. It's a 365 thing if you want to be that model. So for me, it's like I get so happy during it, but I have to remember, Caitlin, after this last show, make sure that content's going out, make sure those connections that you got, you make sure those are lasting, make sure you're getting some bookings, make sure everything is still happening for you. Because you don't want that to fall, because that's when I feel like a lot of models get depressed because it's no longer our season. Unfortunately, models, we have off seasons. And in those off seasons, we have to make sure that we're still being consistent. And I feel like that's very important because you can be depressed, and that's happened to me multiple times. And I'm in my room like, what do I do now? But now I'm telling myself, Keelan, if you networking, then hopefully you'll meet someone that will book you off season. And even if you don't network, which I tell people, make sure you do, but if you don't, at least make sure there's something happen for you. And because I'm a full-time model, like this is all I have. Obviously I'm coaching and doing other stuff on the side, but it's still underneath the umbrella of modeling. So for me, consistency and networking is literally what keeps everything going for me before, after, and during your fashion week.
That's amazing.
I love that. I love that insight. I love that answer. Model Super Bowl. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I like that.
Hey, it's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been so insightful. I mean, do you have any questions for us? I mean, I know this is just like a little kiki, little chat.
Yeah.
But I mean,
When did you guys start this podcast? Because I'm actually so here for it. And you guys are asking like very great questions. Like, you know how some people be like, so how'd you start modeling? And then just like that whole conversation the whole time. Like I love the actual questions that you guys are asking, because one is stimulating my mind, and one is like catching me off guard in terms of like, oh shoot, I didn't even think of it that way. So what made you guys start this podcast?
it was an accident.
Yeah.
See?
It was an accident, actually.
Yep.
So I was working with a close friend with Alamo City Studios, and we were giving them a tour. I was giving some more friends a tour of the whole studio, and they had a podcast room. And me and Nicole, we just kind of like, I'm like, oh, let's act like we're on a podcast. And like, we just chopping it up, yapping. And the other people that I was giving the tour to, they were like, keep going. Like, y'all might be onto something. So, you know, our baby was born.
Yep. We
I
had
love how you guys
talked.
went with it though, because you know how some of us like we'll have great ideas and we'll just sit on it.
Yeah.
Y'all were like, no, let's actually do this, and we did it. So shout out to y'all.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Accident on purpose, indeed.
Yes.
On purpose, indeed. But yeah,
Oh,
we were
shout
sat
out-
there for like 2 hours just
Yapping.
yapping about being a model, everything that comes with being a model. And after we were done, we had our friends actually started a live recording of some of it and sent us the videos. And we were like, wait a second.
Yeah.
There's me in here. Like, we can, right. Right. Absolutely.
And shout out to Style You Fashion. I'll actually be walking for her for New York Fashion Week. I'm loving how she's in here.
Yay. Hi, Style Fashion.
I love that.
Hi, Chic Daily Magazine as well. We saw you say hi. Want to say hi back. Hey to everyone. Absolutely. If you guys have any questions, do y'all have any questions for us or for KP? Please put them in the chat. We want to answer your questions. We want to give you any insights or anything like that we can provide. Be here to support.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that. So you said you're walking in 10 shows so far for New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Wow, girl.
Already
Yeah,
in double
girl.
digits. Yes. You look
I kind of like to outdo myself.
I know you should.
I know essentially 10 shows is like a lot, and it is a lot, but for me, the reason why I call myself KP the Legend is not just to boast my head up. It's like, it was honestly to motivate myself. I'm like, if I want to be a model, I have to give myself a name that I have to live up to. Like, that's literally what I told myself. And I'm like, I'm calling myself KP a Legend when I had no com card, no pair of heels, no nothing. But I was like, Kaylin, you're going to give yourself this name and live up to it. So that's why I make sure, like, every fashion week I go as hard as possible. I'm like, I'm going to collect all the shows I can. Obviously, not all of them just because they're giving it to me. I always tell models sometimes be selective on what you're doing, because if you do it all, sometimes not doing it all, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say?
They don't value you when you do it all, but when you do the right ones, they value you.
Yeah, as models, I think that's another tip is sometimes taking on all the opportunities is not always a good thing. I always tell people, do your research, know who you're working with, make sure it's of quality, make sure you'll be happy doing it. You see what I'm saying? Because there's been some shows I'm like, child, I shouldn't have done this.
energy.
Yeah.
But it's a lesson learned, and the fashion industry is all about, the good, bad, and ugly. But I always tell people when it comes to shows, at least be a little bit selective, not too like anal, but know your worth. Period. That's the essence. Know your worth.
Oh, your word.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have a question from one of our audience members. They said, how many shows are on the same day? I could take that. You could take that. I know there's calendar shows and then there's off-calendar shows that are still New York Fashion Week shows. So
What was the question again? Hold up. How many shows?
how many shows are on the same day?
Oh, I feel like today, this year is the 13th. Like, everyone's doing a show on the 13th. I do not know what day that is. I think it's a Saturday or a Friday, but that's literally how it is. I feel like every fashion week or Friday, Saturday, that's when the shows are like all happening at once. And that's where you have to be selective, because I'm like, you want a certain show on that day, make sure you get it and make sure you have time to block it off. Like for me, I have 2 shows on the 13th, and I had to make sure before confirming, I made sure to tell both designers, because you know how some designers want you the whole day? I had to let them know before booking me. I'm like, listen, if you want to book me, I do have a show before, but I will make sure I have time to get hair and makeup. Thank God they were okay with it, but some designers are like, no, I need you for the whole day. So I'm like, I tell people, like, make sure when you do get a show, make sure you know the time, the call time, and make sure it's a show that you're willing to stay the whole day, because most of the time, us models, we will be doing multiple shows, but the time is of essence.
Yes, absolutely.
Communicate with everybody.
Yeah.
And they know where
Make
you
sure you're
are.
transparent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Katie. This is amazing.
I don't even want to leave.
You.
Listen, because I really love this vibe. I'm definitely gonna.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yes. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will see you in New York. We will see you in New York.
What about you? You coming to you too?
Yes, I am.
Both of y'all?
Yeah, she is too.
Oh, period. Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Keep being beautiful. Keep being Black Queen. Thank you guys for having me. God bless everyone. And like I always say, to the top we go. And thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being on. Bye.
Such a beautiful affirmation. I love that.
Oh my gosh. So we are going to be bringing on our next guest, Brinkley. All right. We're so excited to have her on. Brinkley is such an accomplished model. I saw she grew up in Japan.
Oh yes, she's been everywhere.
Oh my goodness. I'm very excited for that. I want to hear about that.
Hey,
Look at you coming out here looking as good as you look.
Ooh,
thank
yes.
you.
He's giving us audition realness.
We like
Trying
it.
to
We
go
love
like the
it.
bossy outfit and everything, I gotta stay prepared.
Yes, we're here for it.
How are you? Mental
I'm
check-in.
good.
Yes.
Life be busy, especially with all the modeling jobs all the time, but we're working
Yes.
through it.
Yes, I've been seeing you working constantly, girl. Your stories. I love it.
Trying.
I just be hearting everything. I just hearting.
I always appreciate it. Thank you.
We love to support. We love to support. Tell us about yourself, Brinkley. We know you're amazing. We know you are the star and everything in between. But how did the Brinkley that we're looking at today get here? Tell us about you.
Okay, so we have to thank my mom because honestly, she was sending out my pictures to all of the modeling agencies in Korea, and she just got it going for me. I could not pose back then. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was lanky and awkward, and she would be like, "No, do this, do this." And like the first agency that I ever went to, they were probably really uncomfortable with how uncomfortable I was in front of the camera. And they were kind of like, okay, that's good. But my mom's like, no, give her another chance. She's like, Brinkley, be confident. You can do this. And then I started doing better. And they were like, okay, we like this. So she's been like my momager, manager, hype man, like
Love that.
everything. Yeah, she made it happen for me. And then after that, I was able to kind of like bloom into it by myself.
Amazing.
Shouts out, mama.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah, shout out to moms. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. So tell me about New York Fashion Week. How many have you done? What does it look like for you? How do you get started? Tell us about that journey.
So I've only done one New York Fashion Week actually, and it was back in 2019. I was working with a jewelry brand at the time, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to give you $5,000. We're going to fly you out to New York, and we want you to YouTube everything." And I was like, "Bet, say less."
I'm
So
okay.
yeah,
Right.
I was like, I can do that. So that was my first time ever doing it. I had a manager at the time, no agency, and so I was just going to a bunch of castings, and I think I booked 3 jobs for that, but I was going to all these castings not realizing that there's like the calendar ones and then there's the off calendar, and that basically means you're not getting paid. You're going to be there all day. It's going to seem super chaotic. So it was definitely a learning experience for me. It was a great opportunity and it made me feel like I had made it. Like KP said, it's our Super Bowl. It makes us feel like, yeah, I'm a model. I'm really a model now.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting experience for me. I would love to go back, but I am much more selective about what I do. I'm not going to fly myself to New York and do a whole bunch of unpaid shows.
Right.
So,
Correctly.
yeah.
So.
Where do you focus your energy at right now, like work wise? If it's not super runway heavy, like where do you place yourself?
Yeah, it's mostly commercial now. I do a lot of shoots here in Texas, and I have several agencies here, one in LA, and then I was signed to a New York agency. Didn't work out, which is fine. I don't feel like I have the New York look as much as I really want to, and I would love to go for New York Fashion Week again, but I've realized that yes, you can do it freelance, but it really, really helps to have an agency who can vouch for you, make sure you're getting into these paid shows, make sure you're putting yourself in good situations and not bad, because there's a lot going on and people will try to take advantage of you.
Absolutely. Agencies do help. I will say that. I will always say that agencies are kind of like, they're the credibility for you, they're the representation for you, but they're also like your safety net. Like they're supposed to make sure to like filter out all the like creepy, all the
Yeah.
like shady, shisty, anything like that. So, I mean, it does help, but, networking over agency over networking, I will say, for New York
Yeah.
Fashion Week at least.
Yeah. I would agree. Like networking is so important, like especially when you are at those shows, meeting with photographers, designers, other models, it definitely helps. But if you're not in the right place, you'll realize very quickly the amateur people, which not to say like people start from the bottom and work their ways up, but
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're already on a certain level, you don't want to be placing yourself below that and bringing yourself down, or for lack of a better word, wasting your time, because being a model is so much energy and moving and traveling and doing all these things. You really want to be intentional with what you're doing.
That is so true. That is so, so true. So what qualities do you look for then when you're casting for a show? What makes a show stand out to you? Like what draws you in?
Yeah, definitely something that is paid for sure. But definitely things that catch my eye, like maybe it's a cool editorial style, something I haven't done before, something that I know is going to set me apart, like having those photos or videos or working with these people, being able to network with them. Even if they're not paying you, you still are going to gain something from the opportunity. So those are the kind of things I'm willing to do, especially like I'm getting older. I'm going to be more intentional about the shows and even the jobs that I do these days. So those are some of the things I really look for, and I would recommend models who are just starting look for it. Don't take every opportunity that comes to you because it's not always an opportunity.
Very true. Very true. So when you go to some of these castings, what do you do to make yourself stand out? Like how tall are you? Is that something that you pay attention to when you present yourself? What do you do that makes them go, I really want Brinkley in my show?
I think being true to yourself is never going to hurt you. People really like to see originality, authenticity. I always make sure that I show what I consider my best features. Like my hair is a really big standing point for a lot of people. So I'm not going to straighten it when I go to New York Fashion Week. I'm going to make it as big as possible. I want to stand out. And there's going to be tons of girls in the room. People aren't really your competition when you think about it, because one day they just might want blondes. You're just not their cup of tea that day, but you never know how you look might be so unique to them. They're like, that's the person that I want. So I just make sure I stay true to myself. I want to follow the rules for sure. Don't be wearing crazy stuff. Like, yes, you can style yourself to look a certain way, like be more with your style, but you have to wear specific things. You want to wear your all black, make sure that you have heels, like follow the rules or else you're going to stand out in a bad way.
Yeah, agreed. I totally agree. I totally agree. That's lovely. So, how are you getting ready? How are you getting ready for New York Fashion Week this year? What are you doing to make yourself, I don't know, you going out to New York Fashion Week this year? Are you planning on going to New York this year?
I haven't planned on it yet. Honestly, I don't do runway much anymore, but I would love to. I do feel like my height sometimes makes people not want me, although in heels, everybody's tall. You
How
know,
tall are you, might I ask?
I am 5'9", but I realized when I was living in New York trying to be a runway model that they want 5'10" and above
Oh,
for like the legit shows.
that's true.
So,
It's
yeah.
it's a painful thing when you like that's something that you really like physically cannot change. It's like
Yeah,
you want 3 more inches out of me. Like you want me to get a knee
mhm,
transplant? Like what's up? You can't
exactly.
do that? That's crazy. Um,
Yes.
but
And
I
it's,
feel you on that. Like I'm
yeah,
5'8" as well. Like they see us as shorties, and
I
I
know.
agree with you. If we have heels on, what's the difference?
Right.
But
Especially like I got some tall hair. This gives me a good like 2, 3 inches right here. Unless you push it down, you're never gonna know.
I love that. That is so true. I remember last New York Fashion Week that I did. Before going up into the elevator to get to the casting, they were checking people's heights. Like
Hmm.
they made you, and I know girls stand in the lines with their shoes, but they made us take off our shoes,
Yeah.
and somebody stood on a chair with a ruler above our heads,
crazy.
and we're like, okay, now you can go. Like some people didn't even get to go into the casting because they were not tall enough.
They are so serious about it. They do not play. They're going to take all your measurements. They're going to take your height, make you take off your shoes and your socks. They're going to place something on your head to squish down your hair. They are so serious. And it's unfortunate because in this day and age, you're like body positivity, all inclusive, but it's not really like that in New York as much. And that's why I feel like I have the ability to walk on a runway. I feel like I have a look and I could make a show, but people aren't going to allow you into rooms if you are not tall as heck. Like people in New York, I've never felt short, mind you. Like 5'9", that's taller than the average woman. But when you go to New York, even walking down the street, you're like, dang, people are really tall here. And you can tell who's a model right away. And so agents can tell right away that you're not tall enough.
Yeah, that is very true. But I think that's so crazy because our first time meeting was a runway show. Do you remember?
Mhm. Girl, you told me one time and I was like, wait, what show was that?
South by Southwest. It was South by Southwest in Austin. I think it was called House of Minds. I believe that was the design.
Okay, yes, I do remember. Mhm.
Yes, so that was our first show, our first meeting together, and girl, I felt like you killed it. Like the way that they had us, like the makeup, her hair was snatched. Like I remember, like that face was out, and they had like this metallic like makeup on us. It was just, it was good. It was very dramatic, and I don't see why anybody wouldn't want you on their runway, regardless of the height. I don't see why not. But to each their own.
Girl, get yourself
Right.
orange heels.
I know,
Take a
I'm
look,
like,
take a
I will
look.
be as tall as you want me to be. But the craziest part is like there are models out there who are 5'7", like Kate Moss, Cara Delevingne. I think I said that right. Like they're all shorter. Hailey Bieber, she's 5'7". Like if you are big enough, I feel like they will allow you to. So it really is about networking, becoming big on social media. That can help you get into rooms that you wouldn't necessarily be allowed to be in before.
That is very true. That is very, very true. So, in your first year of Fashion Week, you talked about being like going out there with a designer. What was something that you wish you knew before you had gone out there?
I feel like I was so unprepared. Like comp cards, I know KP mentioned that. It's so crucial. I'm out here the night before trying to go to FedEx and get something printed out with my photos on it. And I didn't have an agency at the time, so I didn't realize that that was so necessary. So I'm coming, giving them all these things. Books were still like used, but also not. It's so different depending on what person, what agency, what designer you go to. Some people want a physical book. Some people are like, don't give me that. I'm not going to look at it. Like, it's so different in every room that you're in. You kind of just have to adapt accordingly. And I was such a baby at the time, I didn't even realize. And I took everything so personally. Like, I felt like everything was a hit on my character, how I looked, like nobody wanted me. That's how it felt anyway. But you just have to go in kind of with some thick skin. And like I said before, just realize that you just might not be what they want for that specific show, that specific job.
For sure. Yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true. So, on those days where it feels like you can't book a thing, because I know that most models have those days in New York where it feels like you're going to 10, I don't know, 5, 10 castings, and you feel like you're not getting a call back for any of those. What do you do to navigate those days? What do you do to navigate even the days that you get booked and you're backstage and you're like, this is the craziest thing that is going? Like, how do you navigate those days?
I kind of just take the hits as they come, you know? I've realized like you have to be ready for anything. Modeling is so unexpected in so many ways. Like you think it's easy from the outside, but once you're in it, you're just like, wow, there's so much going on. So I kind of just try to stay calm and no matter what comes at me, as long as I'm in a safe situation, I feel like I can deal with it. You
Yeah.
just have to be confident in yourself. And if you are in a situation where you're not safe, know how to get yourself out of things.
That is very true. That is very, very true. And something that KP mentioned earlier is like looking out for each other, like checking on each other, which I think is really, really important.
And I feel like that feeds into that thick skin thing as well, because I don't think people understand how much models are talked about, like about their face, about their body, about their skin to our faces.
Mhm.
Like imagine getting bullied in your face, like in real time
Yes.
on your job.
Yes.
like, like I'm not even trying to, but like that's
That's true.
like there's been times I'm sitting, like I'm on a shoot, and it's like I see them behind the monitor, and just like. And it's like I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's my face, I don't know if it's the makeup, the hair, the like if the lighting's on. I don't even know if it pertains to me.
At all.
But
I had to sit there and smile.
it's just like it's okay, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. And I'm like,
Yes.
it's not you, but it's like I feel still like it's me.
Or
Yes.
even in that too, like sometimes when they're trying to get you makeup or hair ready, and sometimes the team might not even have the things that they need for your skin tone or your skin color, and they're sitting there like getting mad at you for being in the chair, and I'm like, it's not my.
Or when the other models come in clutch and they do have extra makeup, and then they get upset when you're trying to correct yourself so you feel confident. You know, like this, we just gotta look out for each other in any
Yes.
regard. Like make sure that we all feel like prepared to take on this career, take on this show, take on this job, take on this shoot. You know, I still feel like we're a family. You know, like although models they may see each other as like catty, come to. I'm always gonna be a girl's girl. I'm always gonna be a model's model. Like you know, whoever you are, you know, male, female, no matter whoever. Like I want to support you. I want to see people win.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that at the end of the day. So, you know, I appreciate you telling us all of your tips and all your insight because we don't know who this is reaching on like a deeper level, and I'm very excited to see who would like grows from this. You know, I love it.
Yeah. I do hope people can learn from stuff like this because if you've never done it before, it's a whole different ball game. But I will say, for me personally, I haven't dealt with a lot of mean models. Maybe I haven't been in New York long enough, but everyone I've seen has been like so sweet, so helpful. Like even at one of my first runway shows at New York Fashion Week, it was so chaotic. We got there at like 5 in the morning. They had not enough hair or makeup people, and there was maybe 100 models. So at some point, like maybe 40 minutes before the show, they're like, hey, everybody has to do their own makeup. And I'm like, I didn't bring any makeup. Y'all said hair and makeup was going to be provided.
Yeah.
Models are giving out makeup to each girl. So we're like, oh, do you have foundation? Do you have mascara? Like, it was so crazy. And I never would have thought it would have been that kind of experience. But having a model bag, very important. But also knowing that you can rely on other models is such a great feeling.
That is great. I love that. So I know you just kind of shared a moment that is like super, super crazy. I mean, you literally had both of us with our jaws on the floor. But what is the craziest thing that has happened to you in a show, happened to you at New York Fashion Week, like happened to you as a model? What do you think is the crazy, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah. Funny enough, at that exact same shoot, they decided halfway through the show when people were walking that there wasn't enough time for the venue. Like they only had like an hour left, and it was a very long show for some reason. And they were like, all of these designers, all of these models, y'all don't get to walk. Fortunately, I was already in line ready to go, so I didn't feel that like upsetness. But if I'd been there since 5 a.m. and I still didn't get to walk, like fully dressed, I'm in makeup, I would have cried. I would have been like, really? I spent all this time, like, I got casted for this and everything, and I don't even get to do the show. Mind you, it was at like Pier 51. So it was like a legit location and everything. And they're just like, nope, half of y'all can't walk. Sorry, designers, you can't show your stuff.
And the designers too.
Yep.
Oh my chest.
Designers sat there for hours making things.
If I had pearls, clutch.
Clutched.
Clutched. What?
It
That
was
is
so
so-
crazy.
That is, that is so crazy.
Yo. I wow, that's
Wow.
insane. I hope that no other models have to deal with anything like that.
Yeah.
Because imagine the mental turmoil, like of just sitting in that, just like, oh, I just did all that.
Like,
for
by the way, yeah, you did all that for nothing. Like, go home, try again for another shoot, another job, another runway show, because today ain't it.
That sucks. That's something
that is
that
crazy.
hurt. That would
Yeah.
hurt. Like, I'm just.
I hope those models have recovered mentally
I
from
hope
that,
so
from
too.
that loss because, oh girl, you wouldn't catch me at another casting.
No, I'd be like, never
Like,
again.
imagine that being your first show, your first experience.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
model. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I'm glad you got to walk, and I'm glad it was
Me
good.
too.
Yes. Look at you now. Watch
Yes.
us. Yes. That's insane. Okay, so we know in this industry we have to maintain thousands and hundreds of relationships. How do you maintain the relationships that you have with designers, other models, brands, and agencies and stuff like that without stepping on other people's toes?
I feel like if you go to any job, whether it's runway, shoots, anything, you need to introduce yourself to the people when you first get there and when you're leaving. Make sure you're getting even the makeup artists, the hairstylists, social medias. you never know when an opportunity can arise. I've had so many people be like, oh, I can book you for this shoot. Oh, I want to use you for this test shoot. I want you to walk this show for me. Like, having these relationships is so crucial, and social media is free and easy. And you're able to easily keep in touch with people because you're going to see all of their photos or videos coming on your feed, and you can easily interact with them, make them remember you. It's not the kind of time to be messaging people and calling people constantly because they're going to be like, this person's weird. But social media is so easy. Like, if you're not utilizing it to your fullest, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel called out, but okay.
Cassie, you got to get on it.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
see you every day. I don't know what
You
you're
know,
talking about.
Yeah. That last shoot you did in Houston was so freaking cute.
Fire. Yes.
That was beautiful.
appreciate y'all. Shouts out Cameron Reed Studios. That was his idea. And I believe it was AME Vintage. If I get the letters wrong, I'm so sorry. But those pants,
Yeah.
designer, you ate down with the pants.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I love that. All right.
Do you have any projects coming up? Do you have any shoots coming up?
I feel like I'm always on hold for something, so I'm just waiting to get fully confirmed and booked for things. But I feel like you said, I've been all over the place. My schedule's been so busy lately. I'm just like, okay, it's getting into off season. Like, are we gonna slow down or are we gonna keep going like this?
That's how I feel too. It's like, what? Like, do I relax? Do I jump
Right.
up?
Yes.
I do. No, but I'm hoping for all of the success, all the best bookings for you, confirmed jobs, no more on holds, because those are stressful in itself.
I know. You're like, should I book another job on this day? Like, are they gonna release me or are they gonna actually book me? You never know.
Travel, like, hello.
Yes.
You know, it's okay. We'll take it as they come. I'm appreciative of every job, and
Exactly.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you being here, taking your time to spend with us on our little platform. I'm grateful that we are able to amplify your voice and your stories, and that there are many more successes to come.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm like so excited. I'm like, well, I matter. I'm good enough to be on this podcast. Thank you.
What? I'll never see that.
Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah.
She's a star.
Like what? Why are
He's
you Miss World?
humble.
Right.
People
Actually, wait, we forgot to ask you about Japan.
Oh yeah, tell about everything.
Everybody's curious about Japan.
Okay, so actually it was Korea. That was like my starting point, but honestly, like I should have stayed. I decided to go to college after a year of modeling there. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I was 16 years old. I was in my senior year of high school making bank, like so much. And I was so embarrassed. Like, I didn't tell anyone at my school. I would always be like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment. Oh, I'm just not going to be at school that day, whatever. And when I look back, I'm like, that was such a crucial point for me. Like, if I had stayed, I'm sure I would have been walking in all these international fashion shows and everything. But I kind of wasn't confident with myself back then. But I was doing jobs like Shinsegae, Samsung, Fila, like all these really big brands. I would see myself in the stores, or my friends would see me, and I'm like, that's not me. Like, don't look at that. But now I'm like, dang, I wish I'd taken more pictures and videos and like asked for more of the content because I just didn't even realize how serious that stuff was back then.
Yeah, okay. You know what is for you will never pass you. So I mean,
Right.
if they wanna, spin the block, call you back. That's not an issue.
They called so many times. They were actually messaging my mom and she was just like, "Oh, we don't live there anymore." I'm like, "Mom, like why didn't you just say fly me out?"
Right. You're like,
Right.
I can make it play.
Right.
That's okay. It's okay. But they still want you. So hey. And I mean that base card don't decline. So
Well, thank you.
Real, real. Our, our friends on live, do y'all have any questions for Brinkley at this time?
yes, Miss Worldwide.
Let's see. Let's find out. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, so where are you based out of?
I'm based out of Dallas technically, but my mother agency is in Austin, so I feel like I get most of my work from Austin.
Okay. That's lovely. Who are you signed up with in Austin?
I'm with Brown in Austin. I'm now with Wallflower in Dallas, and I'm with Dragonfly in LA.
I love it. I love it. That's amazing. what would you say was your favorite and least favorite part of getting signed and working with agencies?
I feel like it kind of hurts my feelings when I was doing all the go-sees for agencies and like they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna pass," and I was just like, "Dang." But it was a really cool experience to like meet with agencies and see what they're looking for, see what they have to offer. Some agents are very, for lack of a better word, bitchy. And then other ones make you feel really seen and like you're a human being and like they understand that life gets in the way or that you might have to have supplemental income as a model. So it's just interesting, like meeting all these different people and seeing who's in the industry.
Amazing. I love that. I love to hear that. I like thinking what else. Oh my god, I want to ask you all the questions.
Do you feel like the agencies that you're with right now are fulfilling to you? Like, do you
Yeah.
feel heard? Okay. Amazing.
Definitely. The only thing I would say, mind you, I love my agencies. It's just Texas industry in general is not really like what I want to do. I'm very much casted as the girl next door vibe, which I get. Like I look like 16 years old still, but I'd love to do edgy. I'd love to do editorial. I want to do more glam. Like most of the time it's very natural makeup and it pays the bills, it's good money, but I'm like, I want something that really speaks to my soul on top of that. You know, I'll do both, but I want to add that extra level. And I just feel like in Texas, it's not as sought after.
Yeah, they don't. They're very safe here. I will say
Yes.
it's very safe. But I can definitely see that edge, like what you're aiming for. I can absolutely see that for you.
I try. I do try to do it in like test shoots and stuff. And when I did move to New York, I was trying like the grunge look and stuff. I was like, I love this, but nobody in Texas wanted to see my New York photos. They were like, oh, this is
It's too
something.
much. Too much.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, we like cutesy. We like very pretty, prim, proper.
It's like, well, I know.
Exactly.
I can
I'm
do
like,
both. How about that?
I
Hey,
can
I
do
just want to
both.
do all of it.
Yes, versatile.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh my god. Well, thank you so much, Brinkley. It was lovely having you on the Runway Rundown.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
for having me.
Yeah. Please stay in touch. We want to keep following your journey and all the amazing things. And maybe someday we'll have you back on again to talk about
I
all
love
the other
it.
amazing things that you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live from Korea.
Okay. Right.
I'll let y'all know if I go back and we can do a whole thing.
Hey,
Yes.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time and your
Yes.
energy.
We'll talk to you. It was great having you.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
So, do we just call it, or do we?
Yeah.
How we feeling? It's just us in here, but like, how we feeling? That was good. That was good. That was good.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Well, until next time, you are watching the Runway Rundown. Oh, why did I make a peace sign? Why did I do that? That's so millennial of me. And I was like, wow.